Hey, thanks for taking the time to watch this week's Oldtown short. I wonder, do you realize the power that you hold? Do you understand the difference that you can make in your life and in the world around you by the simple choices that you make every day? The choices that I'm talking about have nothing to do with spending lots of money or traveling around the world or volunteering all of your time. The choices that I'm talking about are the simple choices that you make every day from the moment you wake up in the morning. They're the choices that you make every day when you sit and drink your first cup of coffee. They're the choices that you make every day when you face a challenge or a difficulty. They're the choices that you make every day, whether you stay at home in your pajamas or get dressed up in a suit for an important business meeting. And they're the choices that you make every day, whether you're 1 or 101. Are you intrigued? Friends, the choices that I'm talking about are the choices that we make as to the way that we look at the world around us and how we choose to react to what happens in our day-to-day lives. Do we worry about the things we can't control and focus on the problems? Or do we look for the good in the world around us and give thanks for the simple things? In the Bible, there's a story about a church, and they're trying their very best to be faithful. But not only were they facing conflict outside of their walls, but they were facing conflict inside of their walls as well. They longed for peace in their community, but all they kept finding was conflict and division. Of course, there was community work that needed to be done. Of course, people needed to pull together to offer support to one another. Of course, they needed to work on ways to strengthen who they were as a church. But the real work needed to start within themselves. One day, they received a letter from the Apostle Paul, actually, that told them, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Let your gentleness be known to everyone. Do not worry about anything, but in everything, through prayer and thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." My friends, in many ways, we are just like that church in Philippi. It may be more than 2,000 years later, and we may have amazing modern gifts of technology and medicine and understanding, but we still fill our days worrying about the things we don't have and the things we can't control. We are constantly anxious, and we get overwhelmed by the weight of the world. But my friends, here's the thing. Peace can't fully come when our hearts are filled with worry. Our hearts can't be filled with comfort and joy when they're already overflowing with anxiety and fear. We need to remember and to choose to make room. We need to remember and to choose to rejoice. We need to remember and to choose to look for the good in the world around us. And we need to remember and to choose to live a life of faith. But don't worry, my friends. Living a life of faith doesn't mean you have to go out into the world evangelizing, standing on a street corner and telling everyone about Jesus. And you don't have to sell everything you have and give it to the poor. But if that's what feels right to you, by all means, do it. You see, your life reflects your faith. The way that you look at and react to the world around you mirrors what's in your heart. The way you treat other people, the way you budget and spend your money, even the way you take care of yourself is a reflection of what truly matters to you. So this week, do your best to make good choices. Try to worry a little less and rejoice a little more. Let go of your anxiety, making some room in your heart for comfort and joy, because you just might be surprised how through the eyes of faith you begin to see the world a little differently.